Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Amy, aka Alf B, a self-proclaimed non-geek, here to review WandaVision, episode 7 for you. Here we go.
Look, we've all been there, right? Letting our fear and anger get the best of us, intentionally expanding the borders of the false world we created.
That's cool that now this show is integrating what's going on with the outside world into the sitcom that Wanda has created. I think it's funny. It adds an extra dimension to it on top of the whole fourth wall thing. Yeah. We'll see how Wanda deals with the revelation of the outside world, because it seems here she's becoming more bold with showing her powers, not hiding it, evidence from how she's including all of this stuff here.
Is she asleep?
Mommy's not sleeping, honey. She's just resting her eyes.
So it seems from past episodes that whenever Wanda is emotionally distraught, she has less fine-tuned control over her powers. So that indicates that she's obviously upset about everything that had transpired in the last episode. We see this through the boys' controllers changing to whatever various games. So we'll see how she deals with this.
Mom, my head feels weird. It's like really noisy. I don't like it.
Resting her eyes.
I wonder if Wanda had a lot of headache issues and that growing up with her powers, because she seems to not really care that one of her kids is complaining about this headache or whatever. She's like resting her eyes, meaning it's no big deal, it's normal. So to her, it was probably normal to experience that. So she knows that it's normal for him too, and that's he'll be okay. I think that adds an extra interesting little layer of her backstory and how she dealt with her powers when she was younger. This is the first time we see, well, I guess it's not the first time we've seen Wanda aware of how she's losing control of her power. There was that episode where she was fighting with the stork, so I guess that's an obvious indication. She seems to have more of a what is going on type approach to it versus just freaking out over the situation at hand with the stork. So I find that interesting.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that's about.
Yeah, here she actually acknowledges, I'm not sure what that's about. And that's the first time she really does here. So this whole thing is very much like The Office to me, where it's the fourth wall, the not really polished, fine-tuned camera with all the weird zooming ins and stuff. Kind of more of a reality TV sort of feel to a sitcom, even though it's not reality TV. So I I like that nice evolution. Now we're in the early mid 2000s portion of our sitcom evolution. I also noticed that there isn't the word vision with all these Wanda things. So what's that about? Okay, she added vision at the very end there, which is weird to me. Suspicious. Because the whole sitcom view is more up to date, it's harder now to like have that distinction between Wanda living her sitcom life and the real world outside of that. So it's just kind of watching idly, whatever, and then the words pop up, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're in the outside world now. There isn't that like 70s feel to now or 50s feel to now anymore. It's just kind of blend together. It's going to be a little bit to get used to, that's for sure. I find it strange that Wanda would just leave Vision unconscious in the middle of the field. This suggests that this episode is beginning right after the events of the last episode had ended. That means that Wanda is changing how she conducts her sitcom life almost instantly. Sometimes I wonder if it's even her control. Like, does she sit there and go, I feel like doing 90s sitcom or 2000 sitcom style today, or if it just comes naturally and she just kind of rolls with it. I don't know.
Hi, Agnes. Come on in. I'd get up, but I just don't want to.
I think I got there in the nick of time, because she was one split end away from cutting her own bangs.
Yeah, I'm getting depression vibes from Wanda right now too. Yikes. She's clearly upset over what happened in the previous episode. It's kind of a weird and interesting way to vent about it through this sitcom format. So it seemed like the set is reverting back to a different period in time beyond Wanda's control. So is obviously this time period of the sitcom is under Wanda's control right now. She's choosing this The Office style format, but it's trying to revert back to something else, and she's having to fight with her own power. That's interesting.
Nothing worked until
Wanda stole Vision's body.
that's why he was so focused on tracking Vision inside the Hex.
Hayward wants his sentient weapon back.
Someone has to tell Wanda.
The plot thickens.
And who is that imposter, Pietro?
It's me. Aha! Let's roll.
Why is it that people in movies always leave their keys inside the vehicle? Like, who does that in real life? Maybe a lot of you do, and I'll hear about it in the comments after this, but it's conveniently strange to me, something I always wanted to point out. It's also interesting to see how long Vision can maintain pulling someone out of Wanda's mind spell. We know from a previous episode that he was able to counteract her spell on people before, but I've always been curious as to how long that lasts. So we'll see how effective he is with Darcy.
I don't understand what's happening. Why it's all falling apart, and why I can't fix it.
Do you think maybe this is what you deserve?
What?
Interesting that they have like the off-screen producer, like in reality TV, challenging Wanda's abilities, what she's doing, and that she's addressing him directly with that. It's an interesting sort of vulnerability, and I wonder if it would be a way for these people who are trapped in her mind spell, whatever, to somehow get out of it. We'll see.
Side effects include feeling your feelings, confronting your truth, seizing your destiny, and possibly more depression. You should not take Nexus unless your doctor has cleared you to move on with your life. Nexus. Because the world doesn't revolve around you. Or does it?
The world doesn't revolve around you, or does it? Yet more indication that Wanda is losing control of the people that she has under her mind spell to help her create this world. Also, because I have limited knowledge of the Marvel Universe, I haven't seen all the movies, and I may have forgotten details to the movies that I have seen. I know Nexus is a thing somehow in some way in the Marvel Universe, but I'm just not sure what. So let me know in the comments.
You're quiet, Agnes. On the inside.
Do you think our mom is okay?
What does it mean that Agnes is quiet on the inside? Is it the boys knowing that these people aren't supposed to be doing what they're doing, but they don't realize that this is a spell? So they see that she's different, but can't really explain or know how or why? I don't know.
Contact in 5, 4, 3, 2.
For some reason, like with movies like this where someone is going through a portal or something, they always do it very slowly. So it's weird for me to just see them like speeding along as fast as they can to puncture through it.
The structural integrity is failing. It's disintegrating.
No, it's being rewritten.
It's interesting how in a previous episode, Rambo was practically sucked into Wanda's world, whereas in this, she is fighting very hard with a powered vehicle to punch through it, and it won't let her in. Is that, I'm sure that is a detail that Wanda added in to make sure there was no more outside influence trying to interfere with her spell.
Your mom, she died.
Truly an inspiration.
Your mom's lucky. When they were handing out kids, they gave her the toughest one.
A lot of things going on in that one brief scene. First of all, it reminds me a lot of the movie Contact with Jodie Foster. It is one of my favorite movies when she is in that pod and she's being careened through space through these portals, and she kind of split stretches and you see past versions and future versions of herself at the same time. It looks exactly like that here. So it just reminded me of Contact. Secondly, why would she choose to go through unprotected, knowing that she's just going to be mind controlled again? She must know that Vision will pull her out of it, or maybe because of the suit she'll be fine. I don't know. I don't know how she knows that she'll be able to be on the other side still as herself. Thirdly, her eyes were glowing towards the end of that. I don't know what that means. Does that indicate she has some sort of immunity to Wanda's power? Is it merely just the reflection of the light from all around her? I don't know what that is. It's, I suppose in a previous episode, someone was, I forget who, was studying her cells on a molecular level and noticed that they were changing. So I wonder if that change has granted her immunity to Wanda's power or some sort of counteract to it, and that she knows about it. We'll see what happens.
So, Wanda killed me?
Yes. But it's not that simple. You asked her to do it.
Why would I have done that?
To save the universe? Well, half of it.
With the plucky music and how the camera like stutter zoomed in on the vehicle as it was driving, it makes me wonder if like the conversation between Darcy and Vision is being recorded through Wanda's powers or not.
It worked.
He did. Until the bad guy rewound time and killed you himself. There are a few extra steps, but to set up the context.
I came back and died again.
And she had to watch. Oh, man, another red light?
It's a little strange to me that some people are kind of feeling sorry for Wanda. Like, oh, she had to watch on top of Wu's, we gotta tell Wanda. She hasn't, I suppose, compared to the bad guy, and his name escapes me, they see that she's not necessarily the bad guy in this situation, but I'd still, I don't know, considering she still has a bunch of people hostage and she's taken more people hostage, I'd be a lot more wary or less sympathetic toward her, I suppose. But then again, maybe because Darcy knows she's talking to Vision, who is still in love with Wanda, she's censoring herself. I don't know. I just think the attitude of some of these people towards Wanda, considering what's going on, is unusual.
I think that Wanda is creating these impediments to stop me returning home.
Also, it never rains in Westview, right? Whoa!
Why would Wanda not want Vision to come home? Maybe because she worries that he'll confront her about what she's doing? Maybe she worries that he'll try to stop her from what she's doing, since it's clear he has some capability to be able to do that. I don't know.
So if I understand correctly, my original code dates back to an AI called Jarvis. But my corporal form was born of Ultron's plan for global genocide.
Correcto.
What am I now?
Honestly, I'm a STEM type of lady, so I thought she just flipped a switch on your head and brought you back to life, but...
As someone who knows very, very little about Vision, it's nice to have this little history lesson, as you will, to his background.
How did you get in here?
Listen to me. This whole thing is about Vision.
Get out of my house!
Hayward was... The only lies I've told are the ones you put in my mouth.
Careful.
I wonder if this is like Monica's origin story here. I wonder if she has become a superhero, essentially, the foil to Wanda. It's also interesting that Wanda is showing her actual power in front of everyone, being broadcast, and she just, it's not being edited out. So that's interesting.
See, that's where you and Hayward differ. He's gonna burn Westview to the ground just to get what he wants. Don't let him make you the villain.
Maybe I already am.
Random sudden thought. If Hayview is somehow coercing or tricking Wanda into using her grief to create this sort of thing, maybe he's part of Hydra?
Wanda, you have to take it down.
No. Don't make me hurt you.
All right.
Wanda won't take it down because then that means she will lose Vision. And she is clearly not capable of handling that. Okay, so she paused everyone else, and that's how Wanda is able to use her full range of her abilities in front of people and not worry about it, because she just pauses them and then resumes, and they don't know what has happened.
The name's Agatha Harkness. Lovely to finally meet you, dear.
Holy crap! So Agnes, she's been pretending to be under Wanda's control this entire time? That's crazy. Is she someone that is in the comics? I have no idea, of course, but I'm sure you guys all do. That's interesting. We'll see what comes of this.
Who's been messing up everything?
It's been Agatha all along.
Okay, I'm really loving this right now. I am all for this. Somehow I like Agatha even more now as a villain. And how she's now taking control of this sitcom world. She also has a Disney villain vibe to me, like Ursula or some such. So I like it.
And I killed Sparky, too.
So, from what I gather of this, Agatha is actually the one controlling this and making everyone, including Wanda herself, think that she is controlling all of this. That's crazy. I knew Wanda couldn't be the villain of this story, so... And I never suspected it would be Agatha, so I'm just all over this.
Snooper's gonna snoop.
And what's going to happen with Monica? Oh my goodness. Everything is coming together. Thanks for watching WandaVision episode 7 with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you liked this video, please hit the like button. Please hit subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me, and the bell to be notified when that content is released. See you next time.